one of the announcers for this bout. I'm going to go ahead and get started with team intros since we only have about a minute left on the clock. For your Los Angeles Derby Dolls Ri-ettes, we've got number Woot, Stefcon 1, number 115, Sly Fox, 2B, To Be Determinator, number 3, Jade DeBlack, number 329, Draft Punk, number 33D, D-Cup Runneth Over, number 430, Oblivion Westwood, number 55, Jackie Nimble, at $6 a shot, Jaeger Bomb, 845, New York Skate of Mine, 85, Bel Scorcho, number 923, Vonna Fight, number 925, Sweet Home Alabama, number 934, Shady Hawkins.
And I'm Kills Bill, and announcing you to Arizona Derby Dames Hot Shots. OMG is Killin' May Smalls. Number 1, Ellie Mayhem. 101, Hurricane May. 103 is Abby Arsenic. 172, Pikachu. 192, Milani Mangler. 2187, Princess Leia. Number 34, Pretty Hurt Machine. 623 is Holly Hood. 669 is Nikki Badass. Number 772 is Alan I'll Hate Ya. Number 95 is Lightning the Queen. Your co-captain today, Skid Vicious, number 55, and your captain is 724, Dolly Spartan.
We are waiting on one regulator.
Send Castro up here. Anybody. Is Castro right behind you?
We're missing someone. Someone.
Who is the eye on the sky?
It's Streak.
Helena Hemlock. That's
I'm
you?
here.
Oh, there she is. She's coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, Castro.
All right, well, are we ready for some roller derby? Waiting on the whistle for the first jam. We've got Pretty Hurt Machine on the jammer line for Arizona up against Bel Scorcho from LA.
Bel Scorcho gets knocked to the inside. Pretty Hurt Machine got out first. She's your lead jammer for Arizona.
Hot Shots trying to recycle in front of Bel Scorcho.
Able to push those players out of play.
Sorry. You're good, you're good. Pretty Hurt Machine able to break past a few of those LA blockers. They recycle in front of her. She calls the jam.
And right in time, Bel Scorcho was right on the pack. Here comes Hurricane May ready to jam for the Hot Shots.
With Jade DeBlack for LA. We've got Hurricane May out there in turn 2. Jade DeBlack about half a track behind her. Hurricane May approaches the pack for her first scoring pass. Hits that wall and calls the jam.
Jamming for LA now. That's Oblivion Westwood. And for your Hot Shots, that's Ellie Mayhem. That's okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to jump in, so.
Ellie Mayhem trying to go down the center. Oblivion Westwood also trying to hit down the center. Oblivion Westwood will be her lead jammer, but Ellie Mayhem close behind her. Got ourselves a jammer race. Oblivion Westwood calls the jams just too close. We've got Skid Vicious on the jammer line for Arizona.
85.
Bel Scorcho. Bel Scorcho.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We've got Bel Scorcho on the jammer line for LA.
Still 3-0 Arizona early here in the first.
Bel Scorcho able to push the Hot Shots out towards the front of the pack, and they had to let her go. They're out of play. Skid Vicious still trying to fight behind LA's defense.
That's a solid 4-wall LA's got going there in front of her. She's able to get out, though, in turn 3. As Bell Scorcho is able to continue making her way through the pack.
Dolly Spartan delivering a hit to Belscorcho in the infield as Skid approaches, but Belscorcho calls that jam before Skid's able to pick up any points for Arizona.
Lightning the Queen and Pikachu trying really hard with Dolly Spartan to keep her inside the pack. Here comes Milani Mangler for the first time today for the Hot Shots.
Up against Jade DeBlack from LA.
Black point! Black point!
Referee's getting everything sorted out, get the scoreboard right.
Milani Mangler able to run almost out on that inside. The blocker that took her out fell, so she's able to get right back up and continue her course. Jade DeBlack still trapped behind Arizona's defensive wall while LA trying to play offense for her.
Nice hit by D-Cup runneth over, and then D-Cup runneth over, tried to help her jammer out, but knocked her down instead.
Milani Mangler calling that jam before Jade DeBlack is able to score any points. Already setting up for a very fast-paced, hard-hitting game. LA versus Arizona, a rematch of last year's championship game over at Battle on the Bank, our national tournament for Bank Track Roller Derby. With a score of 5-3, 5 minutes into the first quarter, we're calling an OTO.
Always a good time when these two teams come together.
Always. You know, earlier I was outside and I noticed that the funnel cake truck pulled up. Fantasy Funnel Cake is a food truck that can make your fantasies come true. Tell me, Bill.
The fried Twinkie truck is here?
The fried Twinkie truck is here. That's a tongue twister.
I've never had a fried Twinkie.
You should try it.
Should be my derby name.
Fried Twinkie.
And yes, if I'm up here, then the coffee cart is closed temporarily. So go get your sweets outside.
I know everyone's sad.
Looks like the referee's getting everything squared away, and we're ready to get back to some derby.
Looks like LA is going to be down 2 blockers during this jam. The Hot Shots down 1, 3-2 in the box with Arizona having the advantage. Pikachu lining up for Arizona on the jammer line.
That's Oblivion Westwood for the LA Ri-ettes.
Oblivion Westwood almost out there on the low, but Lightning the Queen gives her a gentle hip tap to the infield. Pikachu trying to break past that last LA defensive blocker.
It's hard enough to get by Lightning, but Lightning and Nikki Badass. But Oblivion Westwood does it. She gets out first, and she's your lead jammer.
Pikachu able to break out of the pack. She's about half a track behind Oblivion Westwood. Oh, Lightning the Queen delivering a hard hit to Oblivion Westwood, and we've got a lead change.
Pikachu's now your lead jammer. She gets in front, calls it off.
All right, we've got Princess Leia taking the jammer line for Arizona.
Both teams able to pick up 2 points in that last jam. That's Bell Scorcho on the line for LA.
Princess Leia trying to break out on that inside, and she runs right on through on turn 1. She is your lead jammer for this jam. Arizona doing their best to recycle right in front of Bell Scorcho. The pack is so fast right now.
Bell Scorcho battling Ellie Mayhem and Al Annihilate ya. Pretty hurt machine in there, trying to keep her back. Princess Leia gets to the back of the pack, picking up a couple points as she's working her way through.
Princess Leia trying to swing her hips as she's getting hit off to collect those points for Arizona.
Milani Mangler trying to break up that back LA line, trying to get her jammer through.
Scorcho finally out of the pack. Princess Leia breaking through those last few blockers and calling that jam.
Hard fought for a couple points. 3 points for the Hot Shots on that jam. 10-5, 5-point lead for Arizona.
Looks like Pretty Hurt Machine collected an above the shoulders during that last jam, so she's going to be sitting in the penalty box. Arizona's going to be down 1 blocker for this jam. 4-on-3 with LA the advantage. Hurricane May taking that jammer line for Arizona up against Jade DeBlack from LA. Hurricane May trying to get past D-Cup runneth over, but ends up falling.
Jade DeBlack gets out first. She is your lead jammer. She is fast on that track, and she's coming up on the pack already.
Hurricane May able to get past D-Cup runneth over here in turn 3. Jade DeBlack coming up for her first scoring pass. Not before Lightning the Queen delivers another hard hit on that jammer to the infield.
And here comes Oblivion Westwood for the Ri-ettes.
Up against Holly Hood from Arizona. Oblivion Westwood trying to run her way down the center, greeted by Arizona's defense as Hollywood pushes out Jaegerbomb to the front, trying to get past her.
And Hollywood and Oblivion Westwood both get out at the same time.
We've got a jammer race. Oh! Holly Hood trying to pick up those 3 points and calling it perfectly timed on the high side while also falling on one knee.
New York Skate of Mine coming to the jammer line for the first time for the Ri-ettes right now.
And also Dolly Spartan for the first time here for Arizona on that jammer line.
Both teams at full strength, so you got a full pack in front of these ladies.
Oh, Nikki Badass delivering a hard hit to New York Skate of Mine to that infield as Dolly Spartan makes her way towards the front of the pack. Greeted by LA's defense. Smalls trying to play some offense there for her jammer. Both jammers still in the pack here in turn 2. Ooh, as we have a pile up there in the straightaway. Dolly Spartan breaking out of that pack here in turn 3.
Able to take advantage of that crash up on the back straightaway. New York Skate of Mine trying to get through the last line of blockers. She got some room cleared for her by one of her blockers, and she's out.
Dolly Spartan picking up that jammer point, running right through the pack.
No, you're good. No, it's perfect.
Dolly Spartan picking up 5 points during that last jam, bringing their score to 18. Your Arizona Hotshots, 8 the LA Ri-ettes.
Ri-ettes picking up a bunch of defensive penalties on that jam.
All right, we've got Jade DeBlack on the jammer line for LA.
Oh, and it's Pretty Hurt Machine for Arizona. Pretty Hurt Machine gets out first. She's your lead jammer. The pack's still coming through the second turn.
Jade Black still trying to get past Arizona's defensive wall here in the front. Abby Arsenic and Alan Eilicha not letting her out until the last possible second as Pretty Hurt Machine comes up for her first scoring pass. Picking up 4 points for Arizona.
When it's 4-on-2 blockers like that, it's hard to get your jammer out sometimes.
Absolutely.
Here comes Shady Hawkins for LA Ri-ettes.
Up against Hurricane May for Arizona. Looks like we've got 4-on-2 in the blocker box with Arizona the advantage. Hurricane May running right on that inside as Shady Hawkins approaches Arizona's defense.
The whole pack was up high, and she just danced her way through. Shady Hawkins getting out, though, in turn 1.
Hurricane May
able to jump the coping and dance her way through, calls off the jam.
She's really good at that.
5 points in a close battle like this is a big deal.
We've got Hollywood on that jammer line for Arizona.
That's Hollywood, and that's New York Skate of Mine there for LA.
Waiting on that whistle to start the jam. New York Skate of Mine trying to skate up on that high side. And what's waiting for her at the front is Ellie Mayhem Allen, Princess Leia. Hollywood breaking out of that pack there in turn 2. She is your lead jammer.
Hollywood gets to the back of that pack. Calls off that jam.
Looks like one of Arizona's blockers, Ellie Mayhem, picked up a cut during that last jam. She's going to be sitting in the penalty box. 4-on-3 with LA, the advantage in the blocker box.
Jackie Nimble there coming to the jammer line for LA, and Skid Vicious. It's the 55 versus 55 club. Skid Vicious battling her way right to the front of the pack, and she gets out. She's your lead jammer. Jackie Nimble's not done, though. She's getting out on her own. About a third of the track behind her. Skid Vicious sees a route through. Calls it off as she gets to the front of the pack. And Jackie Nimble was at the back. Arizona only able to put up 2 points on that jam.
We are calling a timeout for LA.
Can we take a breath now? Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, just do like a cat, right? Good luck to catch it. All right, Derby fans. Princess Leia coming to the jammer line for the hot shots. That's Oblivion Westwood for the LA Ri-ettes.
Oblivion Westwood trying to play some quick offense there. Jammer on jammer at the beginning. Oh no. Oblivion Westwood breaking out of the pack there in turn 1. Al Annihilation trying to initiate a block but ended up falling.
Getting by Al and pretty hurt machine. Pretty big accomplishment. Coming around getting some points. Princess Leia just now getting out of the pack. Oblivion Westwood completes her scoring pass, calls off the jam. Late in the first quarter here. 31-12, Hot Shots leading the Ri-ettes.
We are nearing the end of the first quarter. A very low scoring game. Great defense played by both teams. Great offense played by both teams.
That's your co-captain out there, Bel Scorcho, coming for the LA Ri-ettes.
Dolly Spartan for Arizona.
Bel Scorcho sees some light on the high side, tries to get by Killing May Smalls, but takes a knee on her way. Dolly Spartan gets out. Bel Scorcho's tied up behind Nikki Badass and Lightning the Queen.
Lightning the Queen playing some great one-on-one defense there as Dolly Spartan goes directly through the center of the pack. Bel Scorcho still in the pack. Dolly Spartan has plenty of time for a couple more laps, hopefully. Dolly Spartan able to run right on that inside there in turn 1. Bel Scorcho still trying to get through Arizona's defense. I don't see the star on her helmet. There may have been a star pass. Yes, there was a star pass.
Ivana Fight, it's your new jammer for LA.
Dolly Spartan getting back on the track after a hit to the infield, calling that jam before Ivana Fight can score any points.
Jade Black coming to the jammer line for the LA Ri-ettes.
Up against Hollywood from Arizona. 4-on-4. Clean whiteboard that I know of going into this jam.
Right? Yeah, right. Full pack, and then 2 skaters come down.
Jade Black trying to fight her way through the center of that pack, as well as Hollywood trying to make her way through. Hollywood able to break through there in turn 2 with Jade Black right behind her. We've got a jammer race.
Jade Black waited half a second. Ellie Mayhem did a transition, and she skated by behind her.
Which brings us to the quarter break.
42-12. Don't let that score fool you. This is a close game.
We'll
Got
see
a
you
lot of
in.
good derby action.
Yep. We will see you in about 5 minutes for the next quarter.
All right, Derby fans, I hope you had a chance to catch your breath.
I know I did. Got a chance to lower my heart rate there a little bit.
Teams are able to come out of these breaks with a new strategy and reassess things and make their adjustments. So It's always fun to see this how the second quarter starts out.
We are starting the second quarter with a score of 42-12. Arizona Hotshots in the lead. Looks
All right, Derby fans.
We're going to start with our first power jam of the game going to LA. Shady Hawkins doing the honors there on that jammer line for Los Angeles.
Slow Pat coming out of the gate. Shady Hawkins negotiating her way through. Coming up on Alan Eilach, you got her pinned to the rail right now. Nikki Badass and Hurricane May holding her back on a solid 3-wall at the front of this pack.
Bonafide trying to come up and play some offense for their jammer. Meanwhile, Lightning the Queen trapped behind LA's defense as a goat in the back.
30 seconds left on this jam clock, and Shady Hawkins is out.
Skid Vicious driving Shady Hawkins to the rail, but ultimately Shady Hawkins gets out. Still have about 13 seconds left on the clock.
The pack is almost stopped. Here comes Shady Hawkins on her last scoring pass. She getting some help, pushing people forward. Trying the high side.
Looks like LA was able to pick up 7 points during that power jam.
Cutting into that Arizona lead. Both teams are going to be down a blocker on this next jam.
Milani Mangler on the jammer line for Arizona.
That's Bell Scorcho for the Ri-ettes.
3-on-3 in that blocker box, but first, official timeout.
Hey folks, have you seen the amazing team signs in the warehouse? Perhaps you see that Copper Star Coffee sign right there in the infield. Above and Beyond Pallet Creations takes pallets and gives them a second life. For more information or commission work, see Bobby Ross, the coach of the Schoolyard Scrappers. You can also look up Above and Beyond Pallet Creations on Facebook. They do great work.
Off the Hook Taco Truck is a locally owned and operated taco truck serving SoCal Baja inspired cuisine. Visit them outside for some delicious food. Lost Dutchman Tattoo Shop specializes in various styles from realism to traditional. Skaters can get a $50 custom 3-inch tattoo today. Appointments are available today only. Located at 4121 North 19th Ave, east side of 19th Ave, north of Indian School Road. Please reach out to Uncle Josh. Uncle Josh is the owner of Lost Dutchman Tattoo. You can message them on Facebook to go get your $50 skater custom 3-inch tattoo.
Looks like we're ready and back to the action.
All right. Milani Mangler on the jammer line for Arizona.
And that's Bell Scorcho back out there.
Still 3-on-3 in that blocker box.
Looks like we're off to a faster pace on this jam. Bell Scorcho pushing that last Arizona blocker out of the way. Alan Eilach lets her go.
We've got a jammer race.
Milani Mangler looking ahead. Calls it off.
Too close. Jade Black taking that jammer line for LA.
That's Skid Vicious there for the Hot Shots.
Looks like LA is going to be down 1 blocker.
Stefcon 1 gets called back down.
4-on-3 in the blocker box with Arizona the advantage. Both jammers waiting patiently to find their time to strike and break through that pack as Skid Vicious scoops high, then goes low. Running out there on that coping here in turn 1.
Jada Black gets a little push, but she gets caught up and knocked to the infield by Nikki Badass. Nikki Badass still holding her. Dolly Spartan trying to maybe catch her. Skid Vicious working that LA wall at the back of the pack. Calls off the jam.
Pretty Hurt Machine taking that jammer line for Arizona. Looks like LA's jammer got a cut penalty during that last jam, so it's going to be a power jam for Arizona. But first, unofficial timeout.
Well, folks, if you like this derby action right now, you mark your calendars. Season 14 heats up with our next bout on March 9th. It's going to be a doubleheader featuring 4 of the home teams from the Derby Dames. To start the night off, it's the Battle Royale. The Season 13 champions of Runaway Brides are going to be fighting it out with those playground bullies, the Schoolyard Scrappers. Second game of the night is going to be the prettiest girls in the morgue, the Coffin Draggers, against the post-apocalyptic Doomsday Valkyries. All of that right here at the Hall of Dames. It's going to be doors at 5, and your first whistle is at 6. Don't miss out the action.
Looks like we've got LA challenging that cut on Jade DeBlack from that last jam. We're waiting on the refs to deliberate and decide whether or not the challenge will take an effect and whether or not that penalty will be upheld.
That's okay. You sounded good. Just an update on what's going on. They have finished addressing the black challenge, and they have now moved on to a blue challenge. The Arizona is now challenging the challenge, so we'll be right with you, Derby fans. Smoke them if you got them. All right, Derby fans, both challenges were upheld, so everything that happened on the track stays. So the cut penalty, LA is going to be down a jammer on this next jam, and the points challenge, the points assigned were the points given. So back to Derby action. Here we go, fans.
Looks like we've got Pretty Hurt Machine lining up for this power jam for Arizona. Waiting on the officials to blow that whistle to start the jam. This is Arizona's first power jam in this game.
Both teams with the full complement of blockers in the box, though.
Pretty Hurt Machine coming up on a very strong LA defensive wall. Trying to break through and get past these last two LA blockers. Pretty Hurt Machine trying to get out on that high and then that low. Past Stefcon 1, and she breaks out on the straightaway. Arizona in the center, two LA blockers in the back, two in the front. As Pretty Hurt Machine comes up onto those last two LA blockers in the front. Alan Eilich trying to play some offense for her, but missed it by just a little. Pretty Hurt Machine breaking out of that pack there in turn 1. She's got about 5 seconds left on the clock. And that's the jam.
Both teams doing a really good job of recycling back around in front of that jammer.
Looks like Pretty Hurt Machine picked up 5 points for Arizona during that power jam.
All right, here comes Shady Hawkins and Hurricane May again.
Four on four in that blocker box.
For as much jostling as that was really clean.
Definitely. I do love a clean jam.
Right.
Hurricane May trying to get past Oblivion Westwood, ends up tripping and falling. Meanwhile, Shady Hawkins is your lead jammer for this jam.
Shady Hawkins took that high side the long way, and she got right out. Coming up on the back of the pack now, she's able to navigate her way through. Falls down right before Lightning the Queen.
Lead change.
And we had a lead change. Hurricane May able to get to the front of the pack, but she gets knocked to the infield.
Lead change again.
Shady Hawkins getting to the front of the pack and wisely calling off the jam.
I do believe that Hurricane May was able to also pick up points during that. I'm not sure yet. 3-3. 3 for each team. Everybody gets 3 points.
LA picking up a couple blocking penalties there. They'd be a little thin in the box.
Waiting on that whiteboard to confirm. Oh, looks like LA's got a couple of blockers that are going to be sitting in that penalty box. They called a timeout.
Saw skating out of bounds and a arms penalty.
I've been watching and looking and noticing that a lot of the other teams have been wearing a lot of our gear, which makes my heart very happy. Make sure that you visit the Arizona Derby Dames merch booth to get your favorite league and team merchandise. We have t-shirts, tank tops, hats, koozies, as well as stickers and buttons of your favorite team. There's patches over there too, just in case your teams back home have things like vests or jackets that you put patches on. There's a lot of really cool stuff.
If you like some of this derby action, or your kids like this kind of a derby action, our minor assaults are looking for young ladies between the ages of 10 to 17 who love to skate, or if they know a friend who might want to come join them. They're a nonprofit 501c3, and they're always looking for new people to join the team. Coaches teach not only leadership and knowledge of the... Let me try that again. Coaches teach technique and knowledge of the sport, but they also help build leadership, teamwork, and problem-solving skills that will help out in situations far beyond derby. Ask a Derby Dame how to get involved.
We've got Ellie Mayhem on the jammer line for Arizona. Is this another power jam? Yeah.
Power jam.
Ellie Mayhem finding her way out on that high side past all of those LA blockers. Arizona doing their best to keep a goat in the back. Nice and slow while Ellie Mayhem approaches the pack for her first scoring pass. She gets right past Vanna Fight, right past Stefcon 1. Arizona trying to keep
one of those LA blockers in the back. of the
Yeah, I
pack,
believe
slow
it's
that
Steph
whole pack
Punk.
down.
Ellie Mayhem coming up for some more points.
Stefcon 1 doing a really good job trying to hold Ellie Mayhem by a couple of precious seconds.
She's just so good at roller derby. Ellie Mayhem able to fight her way up that high side, greeted by an LA blocker. Ooh, looks like Stefcon 1 picked up a couple penalties during that last jam. She's going to be sitting in that penalty box. LA will be down one blocker.
Arms and a skating out of bounds. As Bell Scorcho comes to the line for the LA Riots. That's Pikachu out there for the Hot Shots. Couple of Peak fans out there in the crowd.
Yeah. Pikachu used to be one of our minor assaults and graduated to the adult teams and has been just amazing on our home team, the Schoolyard Scrappers, and the Hot Shots for the last couple seasons as well. Pikachu trying to fight her way past that last blocker and able to break out on turn 1. Meanwhile, Bell Scorcho in the back. I see a star pass, but Arizona's right there to greet that pivot as Pikachu breaks out on that high side again, coming around for some more. Hard hit brings a few of those blockers down to the infield, as well as Pikachu, the jammer from Arizona. She gets right back up and calls it.
Arizona Jammer getting pulled down there. Looks like this might be a power jam for LA.
Power jam for Power Jam.
Out there, Jade DeBlack gonna skate that for them. See if they can recover some of these points. 71-22. Jade DeBlack in the middle of the pack there, trying to work her way through. Al annihilates a pretty hurt machine. Princess Leia jumping to the front of the pack, but she gets out. She's your jammer. Plenty of time on the clock right now. Got Abby Arsenic held at the back of the pack, so Jade DeBlack able to skate right on through, pick up all those points. Jagerbomb knocking Princess Leia out of the way, knocking her to the infield. Jade DeBlack completes a second scoring pass, and she's coming around for her third.
Abby Arsenic trying to fight her way in from the back to join her teammates to play some defense. Jade DeBlack coming up on Pretty Hurt Machine and Al annihilates ya. Now they are a 3-wall in the front.
And Stefcon 1 coming around trying to help her jammer out. Great jam by Jade DeBlack there. Picking up 13 points for LA.
Looks like Princess Leia is going to be sitting in the penalty box for a blocking out of play penalty. Arizona is going to be down one blocker. We've got New York Skate of Mine on the jammer line for LA.
And that's Skid Vicious for your hot shots. New York Skate of Mine tries the low side, gets knocked to the infield.
Skid Vicious running out on that high side. She will be your lead jammer for this jam. New York Skate of Mine greeted by Lightning the Queen up on the rail. Nikki
Got Lightning
Badass.
and Nikki holding her, yeah.
Yes, doing a great job of that here in the front. Skid Vicious trying to get some points.
New York State of Mind finally gets out. Skid Vicious trying to hunt her down, get that last point. And we came up too close to the pack, so Skid wisely calls it off. New York State of Mind not going to let that point go easy. Oblivion Westwood back to the line, jam for LA. Milani Mangler out there for the hot shots. Looking like we got a challenge. Sounds like a brand of butter.
Looks like Arizona's going to challenge that penalty on their jammer, I feel.
Well, while they're doing referee things down there, are you interested in being a part of the roller derby community, but hitting people isn't your thing? Well, our regulators are always looking for dedicated and eager minds to learn our rule set and keep our ladies on the track safe. Our regulator team accepts all gender types, and there are various levels of officiating that go on during a roller derby bout. Come be a part of the action, help our league grow. Can't do it without them, so ask any skater or ref how to get involved.
Looks like that penalty is going to be upheld on that jammer for Arizona, which means it's going to be a power jam for Los Angeles. All right. We've got 4-on-3 in the blocker box with LA the advantage. Oblivion Westwood taking that jammer line for Los Angeles.
And that pack starts off on a fast pace. Arizona Wall at the front. That's Al Annihilate Ya and Pretty Hurt Machine, Ellie Mayhem out there trying to do the duty here. Oblivion Westwood getting knocked to the infield, but she's able to get through, and she's off. Still about 40 seconds left in this jam. Pack slows way down in between turns 1 and 2.
Arizona forming that wall in the front. LA waiting for the perfect moment to play offense for their jammer.
LA's got a pivot in there, blocking and making room as Arizona gets pushed out of play. She's able to complete her scoring pass and halfway around the track for a second one. About 10 seconds left on the jam. LA fires its blockers, trying to get room. Pack speeds up in turns 3 and 4.
And that's the jam. Arizona doing a great job at keeping that pack super fast at the end to drain that time and not allow LA to score more points than that. Oblivion Westwood picking up 5 points for the Ri-ettes during that last jam. We've got to be Determinator on that jammer line for Los Angeles.
That's Hurricane May for the Hot Shots. Both teams at full strength, though, for this jam.
Both the jammers trying to get out on that high side, just stuck behind Arizona's defensive wall.
And both of them decide, we're going to try the low. And Hurricane May, though, is able to eke out along the bottom of the track.
She's got them fancy feet coming around for some more points.
That pack is still stuck in turn 1. As May comes in for her scoring pass, it gets a solid wall of 4 LA blockers. Nikki Badass trying to make some room for her. Ellie
Oh.
May able to scooch through, and she's off for her second scoring pass. To be Determinator still battling her way through as Arizona switches between offense and defense. Hurricane May still trying to push through, get 1 point at a time. Solid 4 wall at the back of the pack.
Looks like Hurricane May picked up 7 points for your Hot Shots during that last jam, bringing the score to 82. Your Arizona Hot Shots, 40 for the LA Ri-ettes.
Milani Mangler out there for the Hot Shots. That's Jade DeBlack for the LA Ri-ettes. And Jade DeBlack gets straight out the middle, pushing her way through that pack.
Milani Mangler with a little help from Ellie Mayhem, able to break out there in turn 2. Jade DeBlack coming up for her first scoring pass. Milani Mangler right behind Jade DeBlack. I wonder if she got any points. Looks like Milani Mangler was able to pick up 2 points. 2 for each team. 2 for 2. I believe we still have enough time for at least one more jam.
Here comes Jaegerbomb for the Ri-ettes.
At $6 a shot, Jaegerbomb. Nikki Badass for Arizona. Both of them aggressively trying to fight their way past each team's defense.
Shady
Nikki
Hawkins
Badass
trying to
out in the turn.
Both jammers get out in turn 3. Nikki Badass coming up on the back of the pack, kicks up a point and calls off the jam.
Which
Might
I
have gotten 2 as we had a little crash up at the back there.
All right, yes. Which brings us to halftime. We will see you in 15 minutes for some more roller derby.
Roller derby.
We still have about 5 minutes left in halftime. But we did want to let you know that tonight, after the final game, we will be having the award ceremony here at the warehouse immediately following the end of the last bout. And then you are welcome to join us all at third space. Come join us at the Arizona Derby Dames official after party location, third space. Cafe, bar, coffee, shops, and music located at 1028 Grand Ave. Bill, you got 3 minutes. I love that guy. We've got about a minute left on the clock to go into the third quarter of our ninth bout during this Chingadera tournament. LADD versus Arizona. A rematch of the championship game at Battle on the Bank last summer. Streak has 54 seconds to make it to the booth. Bill made it. Sorry, guys. He's closing Copper Star again for just like another hour.
Bob Villan's helping me out.
Oh,
Over there
Bob's
right now
over
for a
there?
moment.
Hi, Bob.
Now I have to pay her.
Waiting on that whistle to start this next jam. The beginning of our third quarter, second half of the LADD versus Arizona.
That's Bell
Hot
Scorcho
Shots
out
game.
there for the Ri-ettes.
And Hollywood on the jammer line for Arizona.
Arizona down 1 blocker for a directional on that last jam of the first half.
Hollywood trying to deliver a hit to that jammer there from the line.
Hollywood gets taken down to the infield by the 2DB Determinator. And Bell Scorcho's out, getting by Ellie Mayhem on the back straightaway. She's picking up some speed. Hollywood is getting held back. And a tumble in turn 3.
Bell Scorcho coming up for her first scoring pass. Ellie Mayhem delivering a hit to the infield.
Ellie Mayhem not going to let her go by easy.
Hollywood still in the pack. She's going to stop and play some defense to stop the bleeding a little bit. Her and Ellen LHA in the back trying to block that LA jammer.
And they have to let her go by, and she completes that pass.
Looks like LA picked up 10 points during that last jam. We've got Skid Vicious on the jammer line for Arizona.
That's Jade DeBlack for the Ri-ettes.
Looks like LA is going to be down 1 blocker. But first,
Or so you thought.
an OTO.
We're going to talk this one out for a moment.
I wonder what they're talking about.
Ooh. Well, you can join the regulators and you can find out.
You could join the regulators and find out. Do the long con.
That's right.
Ooh, I see some penalties up on the board and arms in a directional on LA. 2 of their blockers will be sitting during this next jam.
All right, we're back to the action. Like we said, Jade DeBlack and Skid Vicious out there for the 2 teams. Going to take up the jamming mantle here. LA's got 2 blockers on this one. Arizona has a full pack of 4. Nikki Badass blocking real hard, keeping Jade DeBlack at the back of the pack. Skid Vicious able to get out on the back straightaway. She's your lead jammer.
Jade DeBlack still in the pack. Lining the queen, doing a great job of holding her there on that low side all the way to the high. Hot Shots doing a great job of recycling in front of that jammer as Skid Vicious comes around for some more points. Oh no, I see. Jade DeBlack take off the jammer panty and hand it to Jackie Nimble. Jackie Nimble will now be the acting jammer for LA as she comes up on the last 2 Arizona blockers, and they have to let her go because they are out of play.
Skid Vicious making her way through the pack here on the front straightaway. Jackie Nimble coming up on the back of the pack, but Skid's going to call that off.
Looks like Dolly Spartan picked up a skating out of bounds during that last jam, so she's going to be sitting in the penalty box. Arizona will be down 1 blocker with Milani Mangler on the jammer line for Arizona.
And that's Oblivion Westwood out there for LA.
4-on-3 in the blocker box with LA the advantage.
Oblivion Westwood gets out to an early start and has to get by Ellie Mayhem. Ellie Mayhem's got to let her go because she was out of play. Milani Mangler still blocking the front of the pack here. She gets out though as well. Neither team able to pick up any points on that jam.
But each team picking up a penalty for one of their blockers. So it's going to be 3-on-3 in that box with New York Skate of Mine jamming for LA.
That's Pikachu there for the Derby Dames. Pikachu getting tied up in the middle of the pack while New York Skate of Mine gets right out of the pack in turn 2. She's halfway around the track as Pikachu gets out.
As New York Skate of Mine approaches the pack for her first scoring pass.
That pack really picked up some speed there. New York Skate of Mine doing battle with the front of the pack with the Arizona blockers.
StefCon 1 lining up for LA on that jammer lane.
Arizona not able to score any points. LA picked up 3 points on that jam.
Looks like Nikki Badass picked up a failure to reform during that last jam, so she's going to be sitting in that penalty box. Arizona will be down 1 blocker for this jam.
That's StefCon 1 out there for the Ri-ettes. It's their first time jamming in this bout. Doing battle at the front of the pack. Gets by Abby Arsenic, and she's your lead jammer. Princess Leia tied up at the back of the pack, gets knocked off the track.
StefCon 1 coming up for her first scoring pass. Greeted.
Princess Leia really taking some abuse at the front there.
And she's out. StefCon 1 trying to get past that last Arizona blocker successfully and calls that jam.
Transitioned around Alan H, got her point and called it off.
Looks
3
like
points
3 points for LA.
for LA. Small bites at the apple.
We have reached double digits. Arizona has hit 100 points. Looks like Arizona's jammer during that last jam received a cut penalty. So Princess Leia is going to be sitting in that penalty box. It's going to be a power jam for Los Angeles.
And out there to skate that power jam, it's Shady Hawkins. Oh, and she just gets right through that front line of Arizona. What a fast pack, though. LA getting out there trying to break it up and slow it down so their jammer has more time to score. Shady Hawkins glides through the pack and then knocks Hurricane May and Lightning the Queen out of the way. A couple of the former junior players out there for Arizona.
Killing Me Smalls a goat in the back, trying to rejoin her wall in the front. That wall in the front's going to need to slow it down if they want to keep her in.
LA firing their blockers to get up there and break that Arizona wall. Pushing those blockers out of play. Shady Hawkins gets out again. You can bump into Hurricane May, but you might not make her fall. She's dancing around, and she's able to keep on her feet. New York Skate of Mine coming to the line for the Ri-ettes.
Looks like Hurricane May picked up an illegal procedure during that last jam, so she's going to be sitting as a blocker.
And that's Milani Mangler out there for the hot shots.
Looks like LA picked up 12 points during that last jam.
New York Skate of Mine doing battle at the front of the pack there. Couple of runaway brides from the Arizona team. She's your lead jammer. She's out first. Milani Mangler getting out of the pack now. Alan H rallying the troops and getting them to skate faster.
Arizona doing a great job of keeping this nice and fast.
New York Skate of Mine, though, able to skate around those front blockers, pick up their points, and call off the jam before Milani Mangler was able to get to the pack.
StefCon 1 lining up for Los Angeles on that jammer line.
Here comes Skid Vicious.
Clean board. We're going to have a full pack during this jam.
Oh, these LA skaters are used to traffic.
Skid Vicious trying to break past that last LA blocker. able to successfully jump that coping.
Stefcon 1 getting by Dolly Spartan. She's your lead jammer. She's coming up on the back of the pack now. Arizona speeding that pack up again. Stefcon 1 gets knocked to the bottom of the track. She's still just barely able to stay on as the lead jammer, call off that jam.
Looks like Skid was still able to pick up some points during that jam.
Skid Vicious was right on her, though. I was certain we were going to see a lead change there.
We've got, for the first time in this game, Ellie Mayhem taking that jammer line for Arizona.
And that's Jaegerbomb for the Ri-ettes. LA got a full complement of blockers out there. Arizona's down 1. Jaegerbomb able to get out. She's your lead jammer. Ellie Mayhem getting jammed up by a couple of LA blockers, and she got cycled to the back of the pack. She's having to work her way through again. She's up by the rail, but she's able to eke out. She's out of the pack now. As a collision in turn 3, Jaegerbomb goes down and calls off the jam.
Looks like she tripped on her own teammate, though. Here we go. Jaegerbomb able to pick up 2 points during the last jam. None for Arizona. We've got Hurricane May taking that jammer line for Arizona.
And that's Bell Scorcho for the Ri-ettes.
Bell Scorcho waiting patiently. Hurricane May trying to break through that pack and is able to run out on that high side as your lead jammer for this jam with Bell Scorcho.
Saw that angle and she says, I'm going to follow her out. Hurricane May crashing into the rail and the last 2 blockers for LA. Calling the jam off, though.
It's hard to see them when they're pinned up against the rail.
She picked up 3 points there.
Yeah.
Here comes Jackie Nimble for the Ri-ettes.
Up against Pretty Hurt Machine from Arizona.
Pretty Hurt Machine has little cactuses on her socks.
I do enjoy those socks. All right. Jackie Nimble out, trying to break through that pack fairly quickly. Pretty Hurt Machine in a little slower of a rate, trying to hit out of that high side, and she runs through the inside with Jackie Nimble close behind her. We've got a little bit of a jammer race here, but it's too close for Pretty Hurt Machine, so she calls it off.
Shady Hawkins coming to the line for the Ri-ettes. That's Dolly Spartan for the Hot Shots. Seems like a couple of the adjustments that LA's made during halftime, they've closed the gap a little bit.
Definitely still too close of a game to determine what's going to happen, which makes it super interesting and fun. We've got Shady Hawkins out there on the high side in turn 2. She's coming around for her first scoring pass. Dolly Spartan trying to break past those last LA blockers.
Oblivion Westwood, really a thorn in Dolly Spartan's side right now, knocking her to the infield twice as Shady Hawkins makes her scoring pass. Dolly Spartan gets out right behind her, though.
And calls that jam right before they approach the pack. We've got Hollywood taking that jammer line for Arizona.
And for the Ri-ettes, that's New York State of Mind.
Looks like LA is going to be down 2 blockers for this jam.
LA picking up a lot of blocking penalties today.
4 on 2.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of penalties. There for sure will be a must skate.
2 different players with directionals and a cut.
And a cut, yep.
Track.
We've got an official timeout while they sort stuff out on the infield. With 2 minutes and 44 seconds on the clock left in the third quarter. Oh, one of those penalties was the jammer for LA. So this may or may not be a power jam for Arizona. We're going to wait for the officials to sort everything out before we call that.
LA staging a big comeback here in the first half of the third. Looks like that's all we've got is 2 LA blockers out there on the track. Holly Hood going to skate a power jam for the Hot Shots.
Waiting on that whistle to start the jam. Hollywood able to run right out quickly on the high side. Arizona in front of the LA blockers right now.
Arizona trying to keep those LA blockers separated.
LA Mayhem able to bump Bel Scorcho out of the way so that Hollywood can get out on that low. Meanwhile, Daft Punk trying to push her way to her other LA blocker so that they can wall up and or run it out. Hollywood trying to make it to the pack, but now the pack is very fast. Hollywood's able to slide right on through on that inside.
That's the one way you can beat a power jam is get out front and skate fast. Keep that pack as fast as possible. You can't run away with it, but you can keep it moving.
Hollywood able to collect her points and calls the jam. Yeah.
And now Arizona picked up 2 penalties, multiplayer block and a failure to reform. So now LA's got the advantage, 4 blockers in the box against Arizona's 2.
Hollywood picking up 15 points for that last jam.
As Hurricane May and Jade DeBlack come to the line to jam for these 2 teams.
Hurricane May trying to run it out there on those last 2 LA blockers. They got to let her go because they are out of play.
The LA jammer got knocked to the infield in turn 1, and that held up the whole pack. She's out, though. She's gaining on Hurricane May. May calls off the jam before she gets to the back of that LA solid wall.
Oblivion Westwood taking that jammer line for Los Angeles. Princess Leia.
That's Princess Leia out there for the Hot Shots.
It's the whistle for the jam. Oblivion Westwood trying to go down the center. Princess Leia trying to follow her, but ends up trapped behind LA's defensive wall.
And Oblivion Westwood able to get out of there and coming out of turn 2. She's your lead jammer. Princess Leia knocked to the infield, still trying to work her way through the pack. Takes a knee. Multiple players colliding here in turn 4. As Oblivion Westwood skates her way around through the pack. Scoring pass, coming back around for the next scoring pass. Princess Leia knocked down to the infield in turn 1 by Shady Hawkins. Shady Hawkins keeping her eye on her, takes her up to the rail.
Oblivion Westwood getting up from a hard fall and calling that jam early.
Sometimes you run out of gas on a jam like that.
Yeah. That's hard, y'all. All right, looks like we're going into a quarter break. We will see you in 5 minutes.
LA picking up 8 points on that jam. 90 to 121 at the end of the third. All right, roller derby fans, are you ready for another quarter of hard-hitting, amazing derby action? I said, are you ready?
All right, we've got 3-on-2 in that blocker box with Arizona the advantage. Empire Skate of Mine taking that jammer line for Los Angeles.
That's Skid Vicious out there for the hot shots. Fast start to this jam here. Both jammers working their way through the pack. Skid Vicious has to take a knee. New York Skate of Mine gets by Lightning the Queen.
Skate Vicious coming up for her first scoring pass with New York Skate of Mine. Right behind her, Skid picking up some points and calling that jam. Jade DeBlack lining up for Los Angeles.
That's Holly Hood for your hot shots.
Looks like LA picked up a penalty during that last jam, so they're going to be down blocker.
Jade DeBlack looking at the high side, sees some daylight. She's going to skate right around the top of the track. Holly Hood hot on her tails.
We got ourselves a jammer race.
Both jammers looking at the pack and seeing if they can make a move.
Well, looks like Arizona was still able to pick up 2 points during that last jam, even though we weren't lead.
LA, no points on that jam.
We've got Pikachu on the jammer line for Arizona. Shady Hawkins on that jammer line for LA. Both jammers still in the pack coming into turn 2 here.
Fast pack. The whole pack's already in turn 3 now. Shady Hawkins trying to push those Arizona blockers out of the way. The last few feet before they're out of play.
Both jammers still not out of this pack.
Jagerbomb comes up to help her jammer out. Still stuck behind Lightning and what's that?
Dolly Spartan
Dolly Spartan.
up there in the front, and Nikki Badass
Nikki Badass.
and Hurricane May. Pikachu finally able to get out of that pack.
Pikachu hung up behind Jagerbomb and not going to have enough time to get back around the track. No jammer ever able to emerge from that jam. 0-0. We go again.
We've got
That's Bell Scorcho out there for the Ri-ettes.
an Ellie Mayhem for Arizona.
Both teams down one blocker here. Bell Scorcho looking at the high side, trying to see some daylight. She gets out at the same time as Ellie Mayhem on the low. This is a jammer race if you
Here
ever
we
saw
go.
one. Neither
Ellie.
team want to back off.
Ellie Mayhem able to procure 2 points and time her call off just perfectly. We've got Nikki Badass on that jammer line for Arizona. First time today for this bout.
And that's Jackie Nimble out there for LA. Jackie Nimble pushing her way to the front of the pack. Hung
Nikki,
up behind the usual suspects of Lightning.
yeah. Nikki Badass utilizing every single offensive strike from her team. Jackie Nimble breaking out of that pack here, half a track away. She goes through that pack and calls that jam. Untouched, I might add.
Oblivion Westwood coming back to the track. Going to skate the jam now for the Ri-ettes.
And Hollywood for Arizona. the whistle for the jam. Oblivion Westwood trying to fight her way through the front. Hollywood also, and she's able to run out there on that low.
Princess Leia knocks Oblivion Westwood at the bottom of the track, and she's not able to get around her. Finally able to get out in turn 3, just as Hollywood comes up on the back of the pack. Hollywood skating her way through the pack. Couple of Arizona blockers end up on the infield. Here comes Hurricane May onto the track. She's going to be your jammer for the Hot Shots.
Up against New York Skate of Mine for LA. 4-on-4 in that blocker box. We've got Bo Jammers trying to fight their way through.
New York Skate of Mine tries the high side, gets hung up behind Lightning the Queen.
With
While Hurricane May's able to get out on the low, and she's your lead jammer. She's coming up on the back of the pack, setting up her scoring pass. Pack picking up a lot of speed, though. She gets a point or so and calls it off. Take that back. She got neither team able to pick a point on that jam. Here comes Ellie Mayhem to the line for the Hot Shots. And that's Jade DeBlack out there for the Ri-ettes. Ellie Mayhem tries the high side, gets taken into the rail. Jade DeBlack fighting through the middle of the pack. Ellie Mayhem finds the bottom of the track, and she gets out clear as your lead jammer.
Jade DeBlack trying to get past Arizona's defense and is successful here in turn 3 as Ellie Mayhem approaches the pack for her first scoring pass. Another 0-0 jam. We have Dolly Spartan on the jammer line for Arizona.
And that's Oblivion Westwood back out there for LA. Oblivion Westwood gets out early on the low. She's your lead jammer. Dolly Spartan still stuck in the back of the pack here. Oblivion Westwood starts her scoring run, fires her blockers, break up that Arizona line. Nikki Badass has Oblivion Westwood pinned up by the rail, and she gets out before Lightning the Queen can get there to help. Dolly Spartan still trying to work her way through the pack. She gets out, though. Oblivion Westwood's working her way through the pack again.
Looks like
7 points for LA on that jam.
we've got Hollywood on that jammer line for Arizona.
That's New York Skate of Mine out there trying to keep LA's big comeback alive. About 40 points between the two team scores.
Which is still not that great of a point differential.
New York Skate of Mine gets out of the pack in turn 2. She's your lead jammer.
Hollywood.
Gonna hunt her down though.
Jinx.
New York Skate of Mine gets entangled in that pack, and she calls off that jam as Hollywood was getting up there. Jade DeBlack out there again.
Hurricane May taking that jammer line for Arizona.
Hurricane May be over here, but she's not going to announce today.
Hurricane May, another minor assault that graduated into our adult teams. A coffin dragger and a hot shot.
Jade DeBlack knocked to the infield. Trying to get through that pack. She's going to try the low. Knocked to the infield again by
Pikachu and Nikki Badass.
Nikki Badass.
Hurricane May trying to break past that last LA blocker. They're going to have to let her go here in the front. They got pushed out. Looks like LA also broke 100.
Oblivion Westwood back out there. Here comes Milani Mangler for the Hot Shots. Arizona's going to be down one blocker in that box. Oblivion Westwood hung up behind Abby Arsenic, but she's able to get around her.
We've got a jammer race. Milani Mangler catching up to Oblivion Westwood right behind her.
New York Skate of Mine out there to skate this jam against Nikki Badass.
We've got about 4.5 minutes left on the clock for the last quarter of this game. Nikki Badass running right on through.
She's your lead jammer. New York Skate of Mine able to get out of the pack though in turn 2 as Nikki Badass is coming up on the pack. The pack is almost stopped on the back straightaway. Nikki loses the skate under her and that has to call that jam off. Everybody seems to be laughing it off. Looks like they're okay.
Oh no, but they gave
Oh.
the jammer a low block. Timeout for Arizona.
I don't know, right? It's the Bermuda Triangle of slippery track.
It's okay, we'll just avoid skating in turn 2. Just avoid it altogether.
Let's go from 1 right to 3.
Don't try to turn around and stop over there.
Ooh. We've got an Arizona timeout right now. I'm going to reassess. 32 points separating these teams with about 3.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. With the power jam coming up, if that's the case, this is anybody's game.
Here we go.
That's Belle Scorcho out there to skate for LA. She's the only jammer in this power jam.
Belle Scorcher trying to make her way out, and she is out there in turn 1. Arizona finds their way to the front. LA waiting for the perfect time to strike.
Arizona's got a penalty kill wall out there. Hollywood, Owl, and I'll hate ya. Pretty Hurt Machine and Princess Leia. A solid 4 wall. LA trying to rally their troops, break that wall up, get their jammer out, score some points. And she gets to the front of the pack. They've got to let her go. Still 15 seconds left on this jam. Arizona trying to regroup, gets their wall reaffirmed out of the front of the pack. They pick it up as LA tries to fire the troops again.
And that's the jam. Pretty successful power defense from Arizona. LA still able to pick up 7 points. Looks like Oblivion Westwood's going to be sitting in the penalty box for an arms penalty during that last jam. We've got Hurricane May on that jammer line for Arizona.
That's Jade DeBlack out there for LA.
2 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock for this game.
Ri-ettes 25 points behind. Hurricane May gets knocked to the infield. Jade DeBlack gets in front of the pack and she gets out. gets by Pikachu, and she's off to the races. She's about halfway around the track as your lead jammer. Hurricane May, though, getting out of the pack now, too.
Pretty powerful wall there in the back. Jade DeBlack tried to hit it and ended up having to recoil and stepping backwards because she lost her balance.
Knocked herself off the track there.
Ellie Mayhem doing the honors on the jammer line for Arizona.
Here comes Oblivion Westwood for the Ri-ettes.
Ellie Mayhem trying to find her way out there past that last LA blocker, and she's successful. Oblivion Westwood right behind her, though, so she calls the jams just too close.
Teacup runneth over, held Ellie Mayhem just long enough for the LA Jammer to catch up as they both got out of the pack.
Got about a minute left on the clock here. Dolly Spartan taking that jammer line for Arizona.
New York State of Mind there for the Ri-ettes.
Dolly Spartan trying to play some quick offense there on the other jammer.
New York State of Mind takes a knee in the back of the pack, gets up, reestablishes. They're both trying to work their way through the pack. These jammers are neck to neck in the pack, and Dolly Spartan gets out first. She's your lead jammer. New York State of Mind getting bounced around the front of the pack into the infield as Dolly Spartan gets to the back of the pack. Arizona has to let the LA Jammer get out of the pack. Dolly Spartan still at the back of the pack, calls off the jam. Dolly Spartan not able to make anything happen out there, and the LA Jammer was coming up fast. Here comes Oblivion Westwood again.
And we've got Hollywood on that jammer line for Arizona, which will with what could be the last jam of this game. I hear the audience say, skate clean. Our forever wishes in roller derby to go out there and skate clean. Hollywood approaches that pack, trying to get past that last LA blocker. Both jammers trapped behind a one-on-one defense from each side. Hollywood and Oblivion Westwood out of that pack with Oblivion Westwood in the front. She calls that jam. Now it's up to the refs to see whether or not there's going to be a penalty jam for the end of this game. With a score of 136, your Arizona Hotshots, 112, the LA Ri-ettes. Looks like Oblivion Westwood received an arms penalty during that last jam. But that's the only penalty I see so far. We're going to wait and be patient. And it's called. We've got a win for Arizona Hotshots. Take the win against the LA Ri-ettes with a final score of 136 to 112.
Go on down there and slap five with your favorite team and players here. And let's hear it for LA. Always a good time when these two teams come together. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned for the next bout. What is the next bout? Next bout is TXRD All-Star Army and the San Diego Derby Unified Wildfires. For this bout, I'm Kills Bill. Thanks for listening.
And I'm Chingadera. Thank you very much for joining us during that bout. Here we go into bout number 10 of our third annual Chingadera tournament.
And that's going to be last call for coffee, too, folks. I'm going to go back over there, make a couple coffees, and then go find a souvenir.
Later. later on tonight, we'll be selling souvenir cups. We'll let you know what that means later.